everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is actually going to be the first video in my, what shall I call it, healthy lifestyle series, I guess. I actually mentioned in my channel update video that I was thinking of doing maybe a few videos following my journey to get healthier and get fitter. And quite a few of you actually commented to say that you'd be very interested in seeing that. So I thought, yeah, I would definitely start making a couple of videos in regards to following my journey and what I'm planning to do for my weight loss. So just a little bit of a background as to like how I've gotten to this stage. As a kid, up until about the age of 8, I was completely normal weight, like probably a little bit underweight if anything. Then when I turned about 8, I started to sort of get a little bit chubbier. So from about the ages of 8 till 12, I was not really a chubby kid, but like a solid built kid. Like I wasn't really, like I was pretty active and pretty fit, but I was pretty solid as well. Once I started high school, you know how high school is, you want to fit in, you want to be at least not picked on for being fat. So from about year 8 through to year 10, I didn't have an eating disorder, but I definitely had disordered eating. I would often like starve myself for days at a time. I would exercise constantly. I ended up probably going from say 55 kilos down to about 42 kilos from year 7 to year 8. So yeah, I never got to the stage where I was actually sent to a doctor and diagnosed with an eating disorder or anything like that. I think I actually snapped out of it and woke up to myself before it got to that stage. But I would say from year 7 to 8 and probably year 9, I definitely didn't have normal eating habits. I would, you know, limit myself to maybe 3 pieces of fruit over a period of about 3 days. I mean, I had no idea about nutrition and what was good for you and what was bad for you. My whole thing was just to eat as little as possible and exercise as much as possible. And I'd do stupid things like I'd not wear a jumper when it was freezing cold because I learned that, you know, by being cold and your body shivering, it would burn more calories. And yeah, like really not healthy, not a healthy mindset. Like, so yeah, that was my period from about say year 7 through to year 10. But like I said, I never got to the levels where I was hospitalized or anything like that. I was still what would be considered a normal looking person. Like I didn't look like I was malnourished or anything, but yeah, it definitely wasn't a healthy attitude to food or exercise during that period. Then once I was about 16 through to, yeah, from about 16 onwards, I was normal as far as eating and exercising. I was very active, I was very fit, I ate normally. I was never slim, like say from about the ages of 18 onwards. I was never like skinny. I was probably around the size 14, 12 to 14, which for my build is still completely normal. But yeah, then I'd say I really started to pack the weight on after I had Jessie, my first baby. I only put on about 10 to 12 kilos throughout the pregnancy and lost all of that weight within the first couple of weeks of having her. But it was those months after having her, sitting around the house, not working, not being active, eating crap. That's when I started putting on a lot of weight. And with not being like, and with having the baby, I wasn't really doing any formal exercise. Prior to that, we were doing martial arts. Me and my husband actually had a martial arts school that we used to teach martial arts. So we were doing martial arts for about, I think 4 to 5 days a week. And I mean, that kept you really fit. But since having the baby, we gave that all away and concentrated just on having the baby and all of that sort of thing. So I wasn't doing any form of exercise after the baby was born. I should have just been taking her for walks. So that's when my weight started coming on basically. And I've struggled with it ever since. I don't think I'm an emotional eater as such, because if it's a happy occasion, I'll eat. If it's a sad occasion, I'll eat. So it's not really an emotional thing. I just really enjoy food. I love food. If I like the taste of it, I want more of it. So yeah, I think it's just portion control and eating way more than I need basically, and just not being active. So yeah, that's how my life went up until like having kids, and it's just sort of kept creeping up and up and up since then. Now, when we did move to, I mean, I've been on every diet as well, like tried them all. And I have to say, it's not that the diets didn't work. It's the fact that I didn't stick with them long enough for it to make any difference. So I did Weight Watchers, and while I was doing Weight Watchers, I was losing the weight. As soon as I started to get lazy and go, oh yeah, I'll just have this, or I'll just have a bit more, or I'll have a second helping, that's when it all crept on. So in all honesty, every single diet I've ever tried, they've all worked. It's just the fact that I haven't stuck with them is why the weight hasn't come off. So now, as far as actual eating goes, I have noticed more so as I'm getting older that my body doesn't tolerate carbs very well. I notice when I eat things like bread and pasta and rice, my gut sort of churns a little bit, and not like in that I'm feeling sick, but gets like gassy and bubbly and how can I explain that without sounding disgusting? But yeah, basically, you know, bottom burps and things like that. Yeah, so I know in myself, like, carbs don't really sit well with me, especially now. Like, I've sort of noticed it a lot more in maybe the past 5 years. And every time I eat anything with like a high carb meal, I just get so lethargic after having something, you know, whether it's a hamburger or rice or anything like that. Within an hour or so of having it, I'm just like, I'm ready to have a sleep. So I know in myself, carbs don't suit me as a whole. I have tried the Atkins diet, which is basically what the ketogenic diet is based on. It's a low carb diet. So my focus in what I'm going to be trying to like eat, and as far as like steering my eating towards, will be more of a low carb, basically just eating fresh food. So eating small amounts of meat and chicken and fish and lots of vegetables, and just trying to avoid stuff that's not natural. Like, I mean, bread's not natural, pasta's not natural. I mean, yeah, sure, it's made with natural ingredients, but for me personally, I just think, I know my body will work better with less of those processed foods. Now, I know there's a lot of my friends, they could not handle not having carbs. Like, they actually feel sick if they don't have carbs, or they feel tired and things like that. So, I mean, I'm just saying this is what I'm doing as my journey, but you need to listen to your body to see what suits you. So, I mean, I know also as well, my lifestyle as far as being inactive is a huge contributor to the way I feel. Like, I mean, I'm 42, or am I 43? I was born in 74. So I'll be 43 this year. So I'm 43 this year, and like, my body has never felt this crap like in all my years. And I think as I'm getting older, it's only going to get worse. And I mean, you can't blame me feeling this way when I'm carrying more than 50 kilos than I need to. Like, that's a whole other person I'm carrying around with me every single day. So something's got to give. And I mean, my mum had all the dietary diseases like diabetes, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of that sort of stuff. So it's all in the family, and if I don't sort something out soon, That's where I'm heading. That I don't want to be in a grave any earlier than I need to be. So my biggest motivation behind it is to just feel better. Like, not just to feel, I feel so tired all the time. Like, I'll wake up from sleeping all night and I'll wake up tired. My body aches all the time, and you know, doing simple things now, like it's starting to get so hard with the size that I am. So yeah, that's my biggest motivation for actually doing it, and I just want to feel alive. When we moved out to Boomai, which was the remote little village that we used to live in, I got a job there at the cotton gin, and it was like factory type work, and I mean, it was long hours and long days, so we were doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and it was a physical job. And that season, because the cotton season only lasts for say 5 months, I did a season at the cotton gin, and without even trying, I didn't change any of my eating habits, I didn't change anything, but by just being active, 12 hours, I mean, obviously, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, the weight just fell off me. Like, I think I lost about 25 kilos in 5 months without restricting what I ate. I mean, I was still eating chips, I was still eating biscuits if I felt like them. I wasn't even really thinking about losing weight, and the weight just fell off. So I know in myself, it's just me being inactive is why I'm not losing the weight. So I mean, obviously I can't be active for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week when I've got an office job. So, but you know, I can try and fit incidental exercise into my day, and eventually work up to doing some form of regular exercise. Because I'll be honest, like, especially when you're this size, or for me anyway, I hate exercise. I loathe exercise. Like, the thought of actually going for a run or doing any form of exercise, it just, oh my God. I will use any excuse to get out of it. If I say to myself, right, I'm going to go for an hour walk or half an hour walk, you would not believe the excuses I come up with to get out of going for that walk. All of a sudden, I'll need to do ironing. Now, I don't even iron. Or I'll decide I need to mop some floors. Or I'll decide all of a sudden I need to sort out all the receipts and I need to organize my underwear. The excuses that I come up with are unbelievable. Anything to get out of exercise. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do on this journey, is just to change my mindset, to change my thinking, and just to change my general lifestyle without changing too much all at once. Because for me, whenever I start a new diet, I always get overwhelmed with all the change, the new ingredients you have to buy, the new recipes you have to cook, the new exercise you have to fit into your day. For me, I at this stage, I don't feel like I can do all of it. Like, I don't feel sometimes like I've got time to even cook dinner. And I know myself, I don't think I have the energy or the time to make new recipes when I come home from work and use foods that I'm not familiar with. Or that's what I found a lot of my failures in doing these diets as well, is it's so much change all at once. New foods, new recipes, and for me, if it's like it's all or nothing. Like, if I don't do it all perfectly, I just chuck it all in and I'll just eat crap for the rest of the week and then start again on Monday. Now, in all honesty, if I just didn't chuck it all in and eat crap for the rest of the week, I probably wouldn't be this big. If I just would, okay, go, yep, I've stuffed up, or I've eaten more than I should have, or something I shouldn't have, and I've just get straight back on the diet straight away, I probably wouldn't have even gotten this big. It's probably all those binge days that's actually piled on the weight. But at the end of the day, I have to do this for me. So with all that background being said, what I'm actually planning to do is not go on a diet as such, and not do this routine for my exercise as such. Not yet anyway. What I'm going to do is change 3 habits every week. So the first habit will have to do with a food or dietary habit. The second habit will have to do with activity levels or exercise. And the third habit will be maybe a self-esteem habit, I guess, or something like a habit that will encourage you to feel better about yourself. So this is my plan for week 1. This is what I'm doing. So starting tomorrow on Monday, my first habit to break for this week is to drink water. So whenever I am thirsty, instead of grabbing a Coke or juice or a Gatorade or anything like that, I'll just drink water. And also for my morning coffee, like I have coffee out of habit. And to be honest, I don't even think I really enjoy the taste of it. I think it's more something to fill me up at breakfast time. Like I honestly don't think I enjoy coffee that much. But in order to still have that sort of hot drink when you wake up, I'm going to change my coffee to tea, like a black tea or a green tea or jasmine tea. So that's the first habit. So nothing else of my diet I'm going to worry about. If I feel like eating McDonald's, I'm going to eat McDonald's. But the drink that I get with McDonald's will be water and not Coke. So nothing, like no part of my actual diet is going to change apart from I'm only going to drink water. So the second habit I will be doing in the first week is some incidental exercise. So exercise that doesn't feel like exercise. So where I work, we work on the 4th level of a building, and I've been taking the lift to and from my office, and most people take the stairs. Most skinny people take the stairs. So that's going to be my goal for this week, is to start taking the 4 flights of stairs up to my office instead of taking the elevator. That's one form of incidental exercise. It'll be burning more calories because I go up and down those stairs maybe 4 times during the day. Once to actually go up to my office in the morning, then I also go back down again to drop mail off. Then I'll also go, obviously go back up and then go back down again for lunch. And yeah, so I'm probably up and down those stairs maybe 3 to 4 times a day. So that's extra exercise and activity that I'm not normally getting. And I know this is going to sound really weird, but I have tried this previously and it really does make a difference. Because I'm drinking more water, it will also mean that I'm going to go to the toilet a lot more. And what I had done previously is every time I go to the toilet, before I leave, I just do 10 squats. This sounds ridiculous. But trust me, if you're drinking water 2 to 3 liters a day, you'll be going to the toilet quite a few times. And even if you go to the toilet once every hour, if you do 10 squats every hour, and even just for 10 hours, that's 100 squats a day you're doing. And you will feel it in your legs the next day. Trust me. I've done this before and it really does make a difference. And it's 10 squats, it'll take 10 seconds to do. So it's not like you're stuck in that cubicle for 15 minutes and people are wondering what the hell's going on. But yeah, that's what I also... I know this sounds so stupid, but why not? It's extra exercise in your day that doesn't really feel like a full session of exercise. It's 10 squats. Anyone can do 10 squats. So that's also what I'm going to incorporate. So, and then for habit 3, that one I said was going to be something that makes you feel good, something to boost your self-esteem and, you know, start making you feel good about yourself again. So, I mean, if you guys are going to follow along with what I'm doing or whatever, you obviously choose something that makes you feel good. But for me, I'm actually going to start having a nice pamper bath once a week, which is something that I used to enjoy a while ago and just sort of gotten out of the habit of doing it. So that's something that I really enjoy, to have a nice bath bomb in the bath and some oils and candle burning and maybe a face mask on. So just something that actually boosts your spirit and makes you feel good about yourself, to make you feel like you're worth this. You're worth taking care of yourself, because like that's probably why I stopped doing a lot of the stuff that I do, because I used to enjoy wearing makeup. I used to enjoy doing my nails, having manicures, having pedicures, and all of that sort of stuff. And the bigger I got, the less I thought it made any difference, because I thought, well, look at the size of me, like I just look terrible anyway, so what's the point of doing my nails or point of putting makeup on? My face is still enormous. But I really need to stop thinking in that way and just accept, like, yeah, this is me now, this is what I am, accept it and just try and improve on it. So yeah, I mean, you got to just keep trying to improve yourself. If you enjoy having your nails done, it doesn't matter what size you are, you're worth it. Get your nails done and stop thinking that I'm not worth looking good or not worth doing something nice for myself. So yeah, those are the 3 habits that I'll be doing, or that I'll be trying to break this week. And each week I'm going to pick something different. So I'm just going to ease into this whole new lifestyle of new eating slowly. And yeah, I think for me personally, it's going to have a bigger impact than trying to just change my whole life all at once in one first week sort of thing. Because like anything, all of the bad habits that we have as far as eating and not exercising are just that. They're bad habits we need to break. So that's why I thought I would do this sort of journey in little steps as far as breaking those bad habits and working on just a couple each week. So those are the 3 habits I'll be doing this week. That's what I'll be concentrating on. But also in preparation for the following week, what I'm going to work out are 5 breakfast meals that, now if, like for me, I'm going to be working out 5 low carb breakfast meals that are easy to prepare, that's quick and easy, and something that I enjoy. So I'm not going to be actually worried about eating any of those this week, but just this week I'm going to work out 5 breakfast meals that I'm going to start incorporating into week 2 of this journey. You've got a whole week to come up with 5 breakfast meals that is going to suit the plan that you want to do. So if you prefer to count calories and you want to stick to a certain amount of calories a day, then maybe work out 5 breakfast meals that are within the calorie range that you want to do. Because, I mean, there's nothing worse. Like, I know for me, like I never stick to counting calories or counting points, or, I mean, I don't have time for all that to work out how many points this is and how many points that is, or how many calories is in this and how many calories is in that. So if you are doing it as far as counting calories, work out 5 breakfast meals, work out what the calorie value is of them, so then you know automatically, okay, this is a 300 calorie breakfast meal, and you don't have to sit and work out every single item individually. Then you'll have it set out for you. So if, yeah, like I said, if that's the way you want to do it as far as counting calories, do it that way. But for me, I'm just going to work out 5 low carb breakfast meals that I want to start eating next week. And then for next week's habit, that will be one of the habits. So as well as drinking water with every meal, I'm then going to start introducing 5 low carb breakfasts, and then just eat those breakfast meals for next week. I'll put a list of what to do each week on the screen, so you can sort of see what habit I'm doing each week and what preparation I'm doing for the following week. Because I know with me, it's sticking to it that's the problem. But I figured, like, if I'm just changing 2 habits a week and then keep continuing those habits for the following weeks, I think it seems manageable. Like, it's not that hard to just drink water. That's all I have to worry about this week, is whenever I'm thirsty, drink water. That's it. I mean, that's easy. And incidental exercise. I mean, park your car a street away from where you would normally park it and walk there. Maybe in your lunch break, go for a 5 to 10 minute walk. Or, you know, with me, I've got the stairs that I go up and down instead of taking the elevator. I'll put it in the description box below as well, like each week what I'm doing. Now, this isn't a plan I've found. It's sort of just something that I've come up with myself. So I don't want it ever to come across where I'm saying this is what you should do. I'm just sort of sharing with you, this is the plan that I'm going to try and take. And I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it does, because I'm no expert on health, diet, or anything like that. So I don't ever want to seen as like I'm telling you what you should do. I'm just sort of sharing with you my journey and how I'm going about this journey as far as getting healthier goes. So if you want to follow along with me, if it's something that you think you might be able to relate to, or it seems to fit your lifestyle, that would be awesome. But if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, or it's not the sort of foods you want to consume, or it's not the way you want to tackle your weight loss, then by all means, I mean, you have to do what's right for you. No one else can do it for you. So this is just my idea, and I'm hoping this will work for me, and it will give me something small to focus on each week, rather than feeling overwhelmed with, oh, I have to do 5 days of exercise this week, and I have to do 5 new recipes that I've never cooked before, and I've got to do all this as soon as I get home from work. And I just feel way too overwhelmed with any of that. So I just think if I can just ease into it slowly by just breaking a few bad habits, like in this first few stages, I'm hoping it will lead to bigger and better things. So yeah, I will go and weigh myself now and show you some sort of all over body shots of like basically what I'm starting as. And yeah, so maybe if I do these, I might do like a little quick recap of my week, how it went, and what I'm doing for the following week. So the next video will probably only be a 2-minute video to say this is what I did this week, and then these are my habits that I'm planning to break for next week. Okay guys, so this is the moment of truth. Let's see how bad the damage is. Now, for all my American subscribers, that's not pounds, that's kilos. So yeah, that's a lot. Probably about 50 kilos more than I need to be, if not more. If you have any suggestions of how you want me to do it, or have a different format you would like me to do it in, or anything like that, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll definitely take them on board, because I'm sort of, I hadn't really planned on filming this, because it is quite embarrassing for me to sort of show everyone, hey, this is how big I am, and flaunt it all over the internet. But I'm hoping by being accountable to you guys a little bit as well, as far as like knowing that I have to sort of film it, it might spur me on a little bit more as well. So maybe this might be actually good for me, just to be accountable and to know that quite a few people watching to see if this actually works. So yeah, I hope you guys get something out of it, and it would be lovely if we can share share our journeys together and encourage each other, because it's one of the, I mean, if you struggle with your weight and keeping fit and healthy, it's one of the hardest things, and it's something that's always, I mean, for me anyway, it's always on my mind. No matter what, if I enter a room, I just think, oh my God, is everyone looking at me because I'm so big? And no matter what, it's always in the back of my mind as far as how big I am, and I feel like I'm taking up too much space, and I don't know, it's just, I just want to be free of it from my mind. Basically, I don't want to be always thinking about how big I am and how fat I've gotten and how unfit I am and how unhealthy I am. I just want to, I mean, even just stupid things like going into a shop and just buying normal size clothes off the rack. I mean, it's getting to the stage now that even the plus size clothes are getting too small. So I'm just like, wow, this is ridiculous. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Like I said, leave me your suggestions if you want me to do it in a different format, or what suggestions you might have that you'd like to see, and I'll do my best to incorporate that. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.